Hello everyone and welcome back. Yes, that's right, we're going to be talking about everything you need to house a bearded dragon. As you can see, we have our little boy here. I don't know what I'm going to call him. I think we're going to call him Drago now. So when we first got him, we thought he was a little girl because he was the runt of the litter. He was tiny. So we thought he was a girl, so we named him Daenerys. But if I can quickly show you, I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but he does, now he's got to a fair size, he does have 2 lumps. And what them 2 lumps represent is basically 2 private parts. So a female will have 1 lump and a male will have 2 lumps. So what we're going to be going over is, if he keeps still, because he is a young male and he does like to climb, as you can see, we're going to be going over what UV lamps you need, heat lamps, size of the vivarium, bedding, so the substrate, because that is quite a hot topic, whether you should have reptile sand or tiles or coconut terrain, what food you should give them, calcium dust, so we're going to go over the calcium, they do need calcium, and what type of insects you give them, and obviously salads and vegetables and things like that. Obviously Drogo here is only 3 to 4 months old, and he eats mostly insects, mostly crickets and locusts and roaches, but he does still eat a little bit of salad, so he does eat cow. Once he gets another few weeks, maybe a month, I'm going to start introducing other things, just like just now and again introducing things like bell peppers, maybe a bit of apple, just like treats, but only now and again feeding. But he's still a baby. I best put him back because, as you see, he has jumped on my head. So let's get him back in the vivarium and we'll have a talk once he's in there. So the first thing we're going to talk about, people, is vivariums, terrariums. The difference between a vivarium and a terrarium. So a vivarium is a wooden box with a glass front. The basking bulb and the UVB goes inside. With a terrarium, it's made of all glass and it has a netting roof, and the heating bulb and the UVB goes on top. Now I prefer vivariums just because I can maintain the heating and the lighting better, because like I said, you will need a stronger basking bulb and a UVB strip or bulb on top of the terrarium to maintain that your bearded dragons get enough heat and enough UVB. So that is the home sorted out. So you want a 4 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot, either vivarium or terrarium. So we'll move on from that. The next thing we're going to talk about is probably the most important thing in the whole of the bearded dragon's house, and that is his basking bulb and his UVB. So we have a 100 watt basking bulb and a 15 watt UVB. So the 15 watt UVB is probably one of the strongest bulbs you can get for that size. So obviously you can get bigger bulbs and it will be stronger, and 100 watt is perfect for a 4 by 2 by 2 vivarium. Obviously, if your climate's really cold, you can put 150 watt in there. If it's really hot in your room, so it ain't room temperature, I suggest getting a 50 or 75. But 100 watt seems to be perfect if you're keeping your house at room temperature, so about 20 degrees, and then 100 watt should heat up the basking spot nice. So what I mean by a basking spot is one side should always be hot. So that's why I have the UVB and the basking bulb to one corner. And you should have either a log, like Drago is sitting on now, like he's posing, for your bearded dragon to basically bask and get the heat and the UV. Now, you can have a UVB strip, which is probably even better. You can put it on the ceiling and it will cover the whole of the vivarium. Now, I have a UVB bulb and it's completely fine because Drago most of the day is in his basking spot, and the only time he comes over to his cool side is obviously to get out the heat, and once he's cooled down, straight back over to the basking spot, because they love light and they love heat, people. So that's the lighting talking about. You want a 100 watt basking bulb and a 15 watt UVB. Right, next thing we're going to talk about, and one of the things that bearded dragons love, and that is the decoy. So in here, as you can see, we have a ramp so he can climb up, because bearded dragons love to climb. We have some plants, so when he's bored or when he's hot, he will climb up the planting and sit on the top like a netted sling, but he will just sit on the top of here and chill when he's too hot or when he just wants to climb about. Next thing we have is a water dish, and as you can see, this water dish is empty at the minute. So of a day, I put water in it, and when I get home overnight, I take the water out, because you do not want to leave water in here overnight, because obviously bearded dragons need very low humidity. So bearded dragons, obviously, as you know, they live in Australia and it is very dry, and it's not like the rainforest where the humidity is high and it's hot. It's just hot, people. And if your humidity is too high and you have too much water in here, the lighting can actually cause it to evaporate, and it causes the your bearded dragon to get problems, mucus build up in his lungs, and it's not good for the bearded dragon. So you can have a water dish. You don't have to have a water dish. Now, Drago here, I've never seen him drink out of this water dish. So what we do is we get our spray here, and we either spray his salad, if he has any salad, or what I do is now and again, once or twice a day, I give him a couple of little sprays on the nose, just like that. That's it, that's all you want to do, not a lot, and he will actually drink that. So what you will see is, you'll see his neck move up and down, or you might see his mouth come out and lick it, and he's drinking it, and that's all they need. They do not need a lot of water. And like I say, I spray up the salad, and he eats that, so he's getting liquid from that. And also he also gets a little bit of liquid from eating his insects. So that's the water dish. Next we have, this is like a stone log. So it looks like a log, like a piece of wood, but it's actually a stone log. He loves sitting on here, climb on here, going in and out of all the cracks. Like I say, I do need to get a few more branches and things for him to climb on, because they love to climb. Then we have a little stone hive that he can go under and climb on. And obviously we have the log and the rock in the corner that he can bask on. Right, next thing we're going to talk about. As you can see, my vivarium has no reptile sand, no coconut terrain, no wood chippings. What we have is like a stone effect vinyl flooring. Now this feels like a bit of slate or a little bit of stone or something like that. It's textured. Now you don't want it completely smooth, because he will have a hard time running around on it. This is so much easier to clean, tidy up, and you do not have to worry about your bearded dragon eating any of the substrate. So when we first got him, I had coconut terrain down. First thing I done is I threw the insects in there, and what did he do? He accidentally ate some, as you can, he ate some of the coconut terrain, which is bad because bearded dragons can get a thing called impaction, and it will build up in their stomachs, and eventually it will kill them. But if you have the heating and the UV right, plenty of heat, even if they do eat a little bit of their bedding, so a little bit of the coconut terrain or reptile sand, it can pass through, but it's not good because it can build up. And obviously that's the next subject we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about calcium dust. Now this needs to be applied twice a week, and if you don't have the right UVB and the right heating, this will build up in the stomach just like the bedding, and it will be bad for the bearded dragon and they may pass away. So you've got to make sure that heating and the UVB is right. So this gets sprinkled on the food, which is the crickets that we feed him. Keep saying her because obviously I'm used to calling him her, because obviously we thought it was female. As you can see, he's coming straight up to these crickets. I have fed him, so we're not going to overfeed him. So that's another thing. Baby bearded dragons get fed twice a day. Once in the morning, I like to pit some salad out, and then straight after the salad, I pit in some crickets, and then when I get in from work, I pit some more crickets down. Now, you do not want to put in the crickets first and then the salad, because they're gonna just eat the crickets and leave the salad. So put your salad in first, let them eat a bit of salad, a bit of cow. Cow's really good for them. I will be moving him on to other vegetables and other salads, such as like bell peppers and broccoli, things like that, in a few weeks' time. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. So substrate, you can have reptile sand or coconut terrain or wood chippings, but I suggest having a tile or a vinyl floor, something like that. Bearded dragons will love the substrate. I'm not going to lie, they will love substrate because they do love to dig. So what I do with him is I do get him out. So as you can see, he wants to get out. I do get him out for a dig around and a run around. Like I'll do now, we'll get him out because as you can see, he wants to come out. He's trying to climb up. So let's get him out. Let's get him out. Let's put him down on the floor. And let's let him have a little run around. So that is pretty much everything. We talked about what size vivarium you want. Terrarium, 4 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot. We talked about the basking bulb, wants to be about 100 watt in a 4 foot. And we talked about the UVB, a 15 watt desert UV bulb. Obviously, you can get other sort of UVB for like rainforests and things like that, but bearded dragons need high UVB to break up the calcium in their food. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you next time. Bye.